English for rupt. 1. Root and etymology. Root. Rupt comes from the Latin verb rumpere, meaning to break or to burst. The root rupt carries the core meaning of breaking, bursting or disrupting. 2. Inflected forms. The root rupt itself does not have direct inflected forms in English, but many of its derivatives are verbs and nouns that can be conjugated or pluralized, such as erupts, erupted, interrupting, etc. 3. Derivatives. Erupt out rupt break. Eruption erupta ion noun suffix. Corrupt core together rupt break. Corruption corrupt ion noun suffix. Disrupt dissipate rupt break. Disruption disrupt ion noun suffix. Interrupt interbetween rupt break. Interruption interrupt ion noun suffix. Bankrupt bank rupt break. Bankruptcy noun suffix. Incorruptible init corrupt ibleable to be. 4. Explanation and example. Sentences for each derivative. 1. Erupt out rupt break. Definition: to burst out suddenly, often with force, such as a volcano or intense emotion. Example sentences. The volcano erupts every decade. Laughter erupted in the classroom. The crowd erupted when the team scored. Anger can erupt without warning. A geyser erupted near the river. He erupted in applause. Tension erupted between the two groups. The volcano has erupted 3 times this year. Cheers erupted from the audience. Violence erupted after the announcement. The pipe erupted and flooded the basement. News of the victory erupted across the city. He erupted with joy at the surprise. Arguments erupted during the meeting. The political scandal erupted suddenly. Protests erupted throughout the country. The volcano erupted last night. Excitement erupted in the stadium. A fire erupted in the kitchen. Passions erupted during the debate. Noun, eruption, erupt, ion noun suffix. Definition: a sudden outburst, especially of a volcano or intense emotion. Example sentences. The eruption of the volcano destroyed the village. There was an eruption of laughter. A sudden eruption of violence shocked everyone. The doctor treated her for a skin eruption. Eruptions can cause widespread damage. The eruption covered the sky with ash. Loud eruptions of applause filled the hall. The town prepared for another eruption. The eruption lasted several hours. He feared another eruption of anger. The eruption was captured on camera. Scientists studied the pattern of eruptions. The eruption forced people to evacuate. An eruption of cheers greeted the winner. The eruption changed the landscape. A skin eruption appeared on his arm. The eruption of protests surprised the city. The eruption was more violent than expected. They survived the volcanic eruption. The eruption made the news headlines. 3. Corrupt core together rupt break. Definition: to make dishonest or immoral. Having or showing a willingness to act dishonestly for personal gain. Example sentences. The official was corrupt and took bribes. Power can corrupt even honest people. The file became corrupt and could not open. Corrupt leaders damage society. Money has the power to corrupt. He tried to corrupt the process. The system was corrupt from the beginning. She refused to be corrupted by greed. Corrupt practices were exposed by the media. The judge was accused of being corrupt. They corrupt the minds of young people. Corrupt politicians were removed from office. The company was found to be corrupt. He corrupted his friend with bad habits. The corrupt data caused the program to crash. The whole organization was corrupt. She suspected the election was corrupt. Corrupt officials faced prosecution. He was corrupted by fame. Corrupt influences ruined the project. Fati, corruption corrupt ion noun suffix. Definition: dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. Example sentences. Corruption is a serious problem in many countries. The company suffered from deep corruption. He was arrested for corruption. Corruption led to the downfall of the government. They investigated corruption in the police force. Corruption destroys trust in institutions. She fights against corruption in politics. The report exposed widespread corruption. Corruption affects the economy. The scandal revealed massive corruption. Anti-corruption laws were introduced. Corruption scandals make headlines. He denied any involvement in corruption. The country launched a campaign against corruption. Corruption can be difficult to eliminate. They accused him of corruption. Corruption was found at every level. The organization is committed to fighting corruption. Corruption charges were filed against the mayor. International aid often suffers from corruption. 5. Disrupt dissipate rupt break. Definition: to interrupt or disturb the normal flow or order of something. Example sentences. The protest disrupted traffic downtown. She disrupts the class by talking loudly. Storms can disrupt travel plans. The power outage disrupted our work. Construction noise disrupted the meeting. His actions disrupted the process. The strike disrupted production. They disrupted the event with chance. The phone call disrupted my concentration. Weather disruptions are common in winter. He disrupted the peace in the neighborhood. The internet connection was disrupted. Protesters disrupted the speech. A sudden noise disrupted the ceremony. Technical issues disrupted the broadcast. The accident disrupted train service. She disrupted the flow of conversation. The system was disrupted by a virus. Disrupting class is against the rules. The schedule was disrupted by delays. 6. Disruption disrupt ion noun suffix. Definition: a disturbance or problem that interrupts an event, activity or process. Example sentences. There was a major disruption in the supply chain. The storm caused widespread disruption. Work stopped due to the disruption. The meeting continued despite the disruption. Power disruptions affected the city. The disruption delayed the flight. Construction created disruption in the area. They apologized for the disruption. Disruption of service lasted all day. The company faced disruption from new competitors. The disruption was unexpected. Social media can cause disruption at work. She was upset by the disruption. Disruption of classes is not allowed. The disruption ended quickly. He caused a disruption during the lecture. We prepared for possible disruptions. The country experienced political disruption. Disruption in communication led to confusion. The project was finished without disruption. 7. Interrupt inter-between rupt break. Definition: to stop the continuous progress of an activity or process by saying or doing something. Example sentences. Please don't interrupt while I'm speaking. He interrupted the teacher with a question. The phone rang and interrupted our conversation. She hates being interrupted. The show was interrupted by breaking news. He interrupted to offer his opinion. The storm interrupted the game. Can I interrupt you for a moment? Loud noises interrupted my sleep. The meeting was interrupted by a fire alarm. She interrupted the flow of ideas. He is always interrupting others. Technical issues interrupted the presentation. The class was interrupted by announcements. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a question. The program was interrupted for an emergency. Don't interrupt your sister when she's talking. The speaker was interrupted by applause. A sudden call interrupted his work. Try not to interrupt the process. 8. Interruption interrupt ion noun suffix. Definition: the act of stopping or hindering something temporarily. Example sentences. There was a brief interruption in service. Noise caused constant interruptions. She apologized for the interruption. Interruptions make it hard to focus. The power interruption lasted an hour. I dislike interruptions during meetings. The interruption was necessary. Frequent interruptions slowed progress. He was annoyed by the interruption. The interruption delayed the project. A sudden interruption stopped the movie. Interruptions distract from important work. She dealt with interruptions calmly. There was no interruption in the broadcast. The teacher managed interruptions well. Interruptions can be frustrating. We experienced several interruptions. The interruption was unexpected. An interruption in the network caused errors. He continued after the interruption. 9. Bankrupt break. Definition: unable to pay debts, financially ruined. Example sentences. The company went bankrupt last year. He was declared bankrupt by the court. They are nearly bankrupt. Bankrupt businesses often close suddenly. The firm became bankrupt due to mismanagement. She is afraid of going bankrupt. Many stores went bankrupt during the recession. He declared himself bankrupt. The bankrupt company laid off workers. They filed for bankrupt status. His careless spending made him bankrupt. Bankruptcies are increasing this year. The family became bankrupt after the disaster. She avoided becoming bankrupt by saving. The bank helps bankrupt clients. The business is close to being bankrupt. Bankrupt towns need government help. He started over after going bankrupt. They rescued the bankrupt factory. The bankrupt estate was sold. 10 bankrupt noun suffix. Definition: the state of being unable to pay debts, legal insolvency. Example sentences. The company filed for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a last resort. He avoided bankruptcy by negotiating with creditors. Thousands face bankruptcy every year. The court handled the bankruptcy case. She declared bankruptcy after losing her job. Bankruptcy laws protect some assets. They recovered from bankruptcy. The threat of bankruptcy loomed over them. Business bankruptcy can affect suppliers. Personal bankruptcy is very stressful. The store went into bankruptcy. Bankruptcy does not end all obligations. He fears bankruptcy more than failure. Bankruptcy proceedings took months. Advice on bankruptcy is available online. Bankruptcy can offer a fresh start. They filed for bankruptcy protection. Bankruptcy rates rose during the crisis. The bankruptcy process is complicated. 11. Incorruptible, inert corrupt, liable to be. Definition: not susceptible to corruption, unable to be morally corrupted. Example sentences: she is known for being incorruptible. The judge was absolutely incorruptible. They trusted him as an incorruptible leader. His reputation for being incorruptible spread. The incorruptible officer refused all bribes. An incorruptible mind is rare. The incorruptible system prevents fraud. He remained incorruptible despite temptation. The incorruptible journalist exposed the truth. They admired her incorruptible character. Incorruptible officials are essential to justice. She proved herself incorruptible. The incorruptible witness testified in court. The organization seeks incorruptible employees. He values incorruptible honesty. Society needs incorruptible leadership. She is respected as an incorruptible figure. The incorruptible code guarded the data. Incorruptible values inspired the team. He is remembered as an incorruptible hero.